was camping with a bunch of friends in the woods. It was raining and got really cold, so we decided to sit around in the tent and just hang out and pass some weed around. We smoked for about 15 minutes until my friend brought up that he brought some DMT with him and that we should try it. He filled up the mini bong with a tiny bit of weed and a point's worth of DMT. I took 2 decent-sized hits and kind of got a strange head rush, and the body high was unlike anything I had felt before. I was very heavy, and it felt like I was being held down. I decided to stir the bowl around some, and I proceeded to take another hit. That last hit happened to be huge, and I remember staring at the tent walls and all of my friends before everything went black. All of a sudden I can't see anything. Then I hear a god-awful noise. It's like the sounds of a million screams and every siren imaginable. All I see is intense huge spirals and swirls of rainbow colors going insanely fast, and it's the only thing I can see. I don't know what my body is anymore, and the only thing I can feel is this very painful sensation coursing through whatever it is I think is my body. It feels like needles are all over me, and I'm being twisted into a million knots. It was almost like I was being towed down and being forced to watch the scariest movie imaginable. I start screaming, according to my friends, which lasted for about a minute straight. I think I was making the siren sounds that I was hearing. I thought I was in another reality, and that I was consumed in that new universe I had stumbled into. It was extremely terrifying, and it felt like it lasted an eternity. I then started to chomp on my teeth. I was way past the point of grinding them, and I thought that me moving my teeth was making the spirals continue to go. It felt like my body was just going in knots and circles and being pulled down. The spirals kept going, and I kept hearing these crazy distorted sounds, and I just wanted the trip to end. I couldn't get it through my head at the time that it was only a trip and it would be over soon. I thought I was stuck in that terrible spiraling abyss for the rest of my life. And it really did feel like more than a lifetime. I never thought it would end, and I just wanted to cry. I woke up after about 7 minutes and was clenching my bottom lip in between my teeth. I looked up at the top of the tent and only saw orange and blue circles. I sat up and looked around, with all of my friends looking at me. It took me about 3 minutes to remember everyone's name, and I had to go around the circle naming off names and trying to remember where exactly I was at. I immediately stood up and tried to run out of the tent. Once my friends opened it for me, I realized it was freezing out and raining, so I sat back down. I wrapped up in about 5 blankets, and I couldn't stop shaking. I put my finger in my mouth and ran it across my teeth, and I didn't feel any teeth in my mouth. Only gums. I freaked out and started to mumble. I kept my finger in my mouth, running it over my teeth until I could feel them again. My friends told me I was screaming and making moaning noises for about a minute straight, and that I had opened my mouth and stuck my tongue out in a strange way. I also was breathing extremely hard, and they considered trying to wake me up. I was only out for about 5 to 8 minutes. DMT was a very insane experience for me, and I don't think I would be interested in doing it again. It was almost too much for me to handle, and to this day, I still think of how vivid that trip was, and it still scares me. I feel like I've been to another dimension in time that I couldn't escape. That night I was terrified to sleep because I didn't know if I would have a dream like my trip was. I feel like that this DMT experience really changed me for the rest of my life, and I feel like I've been to an eternity and back. I went into the trip with a fantastic mindset, but somehow I ended up seeing the most terrifying thing of my life. Please be safe and have fun. DMT is a crazy.